Hi everyone, welcome back to Wild Tots at Home. You've joined me in my garden this week, surrounded by the flowers. We're going to be inspired by flowers a bit this week, so I thought I'd stay at home in the garden. Thank you for all your wonderful pictures of the s'mores, they're amazing. I'm well impressed by all your little campfires that you've been having outside, making s'mores, toasting marshmallows, so thank you so much for sharing those pictures with me. Hopefully we've got a few more activities for you this week that you can get up to. It's all about flowers. Again, it's just so many wonderful colours. Probably out on your walks and your gardens you're seeing some amazing colours at the moment. So we're going to use some of those things that you might collect out on your walks. Have any of you been spotting in your garden? Have any of you spotted any butterflies? We're going to make this week, we're going to make ourselves a butterfly feeder. I posted up on our Instagram and Facebook pages last night some things that you might need to make your butterfly feeder. You need a jam jar. I've covered this jam jar in double-sided sticky tape, this one. You will need some cotton wool, some string, and my jar to start with I've filled with butterfly food. I've filled it with some honey water to make some nice sweet food for the butterflies. So, first of all you need to fill your jar with some sweet honey water that those butterflies are going to feed on. If you've got sticky tape, then cover it with some double-sided sticky tape. And I'm going to take that tape off and show you what we're going to be doing. So we've got to turn our jar into a really beautiful flower that the butterflies are going to want to visit. So I'm going to stick all the flowers onto my jar to make it all nice and colourful for the butterflies to want to visit. I've collected all sorts of flowers from my garden. I wonder if you guys can collect lots of different flowers as well. So you can see what I'm doing just there to make it look like my garden. I've got a really amazing petal from the poppy that's growing just behind me, just here. A few more flowers that we'll add just there. Some wonderful colours in the garden at the moment, some pinks, and some purples growing. There's loads of purple colours. Got some wonderful yellow colours as well. I should think butterflies like yellow colours. They like all colours of the rainbow, those butterflies. So turn your jar into a wildflower. So there we go, I've covered my jar in flowers to make it really attractive to the butterflies. Now the next job is to make a hole in the lid. Oh, yep, you can just about see there, can't you? I'll tilt the camera around just a bit. I've got a log stump just here, and I have got myself a hammer and nail as well. I'm going to make a hole in the top because somehow the honey liquid's got to get out. I'm going to make a hole with my hammer and nail. There we go. Might make it just a little bit larger because I've got to poke the cotton wool in that hole. Because the cotton wool, it's going to be a bit like a wick for a candle. It's going to absorb all the honey liquid so that the butterflies can feed. It'll drip off the cotton wool. There we go. I'm going to poke my cotton wool through the hole. Now I haven't done this, I haven't made one of these before. I've been reading all about them, so I'm going to just pull. It's a bit like a wick, works for a little bit like a wick for a candle, so there we go. Perfect. You can see the cotton wool sticking out the end, and there's cotton wool on the inside that's going to absorb the honey water. I'm going to put my lid back on the jar, but I'm not going to turn it upside down yet. I need something to hang it on. So you can see just there. I've got a ball of string, some cotton string just here. I'm going to wrap it around, a bit like you're wrapping a Christmas present. I'm going to wrap it around a few times. There. Going to make sure that I go both ways with my string, so it's going to be able to be tied securely. Oh, I'm going to use my scissors to trim it off a bit. Very end of the string just here. So there, I can see my cotton wool hanging out the end there, and also the string. Oh, hang on, need to tie it up the other way, don't we? So I'm going to hang it up the other way We're going to have it hanging down in that direction. You've got to have it upside down, of course. There we go. There is some string to hang it up with. I'm hoping all the honey liquid hasn't fallen out. I may have made the hole too big now. Let's have a look and see. So you can see that cotton wool is acting a bit like a wick. It's absorbed all the liquid and it's now ready to hang up in a tree. It's not dripping out, it's just being absorbed onto there. Oh, it's doing a wonderful job. Those butterflies, even the bees, a bee just came along to have a little drink from my butterfly feeder. So I'm going to go and hang that in a tree and see if the bees are going to come and enjoy that one. So that's a butterfly feeder. That's the first project for you this week. Now also I've been collecting lots and lots of flowers. I don't know if any of you can see this one. Maybe we need to tilt the camera down a bit so there's not quite so much sun. So I've been making some little tea light jars. I collected some flowers and I pressed them actually in some old phone books. And I've stuck them onto a jar to make a very special tea light holder. You need, for this challenge, you need an empty jar. And here we go. Here are some of my pressed flowers that I collected last week. I've actually even got some ferns just there. You see those ferns there? I've got a collection of lots of different flowers. Put them out on my tray. There we are. You need, for this challenge, you need some PVA glue. I've got a bit of PVA and some water. I've mixed the PVA and the water together and it makes like a little wash to stick on some white tissue paper. I've also got some white tissue paper. You could just use thick PVA over the top of the flowers. It would probably work just as well. But I'm going to use some white tissue paper. It helps to stick the flowers just down there. So here we go. So stick your flowers onto the jar, or your leaves. Leaves also work really nicely for this one. Leaves onto the jar as well. There we go, all the way round. Oh, this is a good one. This is a nice bright coloured one. I'm going to use this one. Just on there. Then, once your flowers are on, you need to paint over the top with your PVA wash, because that means the tissue paper will then stick to them. There we go. You need the little sticky bits for the tissue paper to stick onto. Let's just see. Hopefully my tissue paper is the right size. It might be a little bit big actually. I'll trim my tissue paper down a little bit. I've used a sheet of tissue paper. You don't have to use a sheet of tissue paper, but I'm putting the tissue paper onto the top of where all the PVA is, and I don't know if you can see, but immediately the tissue paper is being absorbed into the PVA, and then as soon as I stick it on, I dipping my brush into the pot of PVA and water mixture, and I'm painting it over the top. That makes it go all see-through. There we go. It's going to be over the top of my flowers and the light will be able to shine through. So just before you go to bed in the evening, if it's a bit dark, you could light your candle inside your jar and the light will shine through on your flowers. So you want to carry on like that all the way around the jar. Stick some more flowers on and you can put some more tissue paper over the top. Here we go, here's another nice flower just there. So carry on like that, carry on sticking your white tissue paper over the top. But you could also just use PVA glue. You don't have to use white tissue paper if you don't have it. That's okay. Oh, that's better. You can see me a bit better there. So there's some challenges this week. These gorgeous tea light jars. Hopefully you can see that just there. Those, and that's, I've hung on the top. I tied some wire around it and put a little bit of wire on there so you can put your tea light inside and hang it up somewhere pretty, maybe even in the garden when you have your campfires and make more s'mores. And our butterfly feeders now. That's looking fantastic. If I was a butterfly, I'd definitely go for that one. It's looking very colourful, my butterfly feeder. I think those butterflies are going to love it. All the bees are coming around already. That looks amazing. So thanks for joining me this week on Wild Tots. Next week, I want you to keep an eye out for this week, as well as all these other flowers and things. Keep an eye out for those elderflowers. We're going to be posting up some recipes on our Facebook page this week with the elderflowers. I've got lots growing in my garden, just in the hedge, so you'll see them growing in the hedge around on your walks. Maybe you can collect some of those. I'm going to post a recipe for elderflower cordial and some elderflower ice lollies. It's going to be a hot week, so you can get busy with those elderflowers. We'll show you some cooking with them next week. But before we go, let's just have a quick song, our goodbye song. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as colourful as we can. Bing, 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 bing. Oh, there's so many nice colours around. Maybe you could do it. Oh, I know how we can do it next time. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye like a butterfly. Who can be a butterfly? Swooping. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as quietly as we can. Goodbye, everybody. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as tall as we can. Are you on your tiptoes? Bye, everyone. I hope you got nice and tall then. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as small as we can. Bye. I'm getting really small. Thanks so much for watching, and look forward to seeing all your pictures of your butterfly feeders and your tea lights. So good luck collecting all your flowers and pressing your flowers. I look forward to seeing what you make this week. Bye everyone, see you next week.